Well, hello, beautiful people of the internet. It's Chris Wood from the Rising Phoenix Mental Health YouTube channel, and today I'm going to talk about morning routines.
Hey, does anybody want coffee? Who wants coffee? I just made a fresh pot of coffee. Does anybody want coffee?
I thought I would spice it up a little bit with my what-have-yous over here and just trying out different things. But I hope you're all doing great. I hope you are doing wonderful wherever you are in this world today. So, routines. Morning routines. That's a tough one, isn't it?
No! God, please, no! No! No!
A lot of us just sort of just get up in the morning and go. I mean, I had a routine in the morning, and that was alarm goes off, hit the alarm, get out of bed, shower, get dressed, go to work. That's about it. Sometimes I would stop at Tim Hortons there and get a coffee and a muffin or whatever the case may be. But it wasn't really a consistent routine. It was changing all the time. It just depended on what I had for time, what I was going to do. Sometimes I worked out in the morning. It was very random. But now I do try to work on a morning routine. It's changed quite a bit over time, over the last 2.5 years. And it's a struggle. It's a daily struggle. It's a daily struggle. And I'll tell you why. The reason why is that it's a behavior that you are changing. So if you're going to do anything different than you would usually do in a morning routine or a nighttime routine for that matter, it takes time because you're developing a new habit. And that's the struggle, because it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's something that you have to hone in on and be patient, and don't be so damn hard on yourself, because it's going to evolve over time. It's going to change over time. You may have a specific routine that you're doing that you decided to do, and then you just go ahead and think, you know what, this isn't working. I got to change this. I got to change that. Or, you know what, screw it. I'm starting over. You got to allow yourself that time to evolve. So what I've done is I'm going to just talk a little bit about some references that I've used to develop a morning routine in the past, and then I'll let you know what I do, what I'm currently doing. Okay, so here's a book by James Clear. It is a very popular book called Atomic Habits. What it's about is it provides you ways to change your system in order to reach your goals. And how do you go about doing that? How do you go about, making a goal and that sort of thing, so that it is realistic and measurable, right? I don't know. It can kind of go with like New Year's Eve resolutions, like these goals that you're going to come up with for the year. How many of you have actually developed or had so many goals that you were going to do, or even just 1 or 2 goals that you were going to do for the new year? How many of you accomplished them? Yeah, not me. So here we go. So this is going to give you some tips on how to create a decent morning routine, and then you can take it from there. So, Atomic Habits. Here are some things that I've learned from Atomic Habits, as well as other references relating to that great book. So the first thing that's really important is to wake up the same time every day, if you can do it. Now, for most of us that are in the working world, that's not too challenging to do. Or if you have, a schedule where you need to be up at a certain time in order to manage that schedule. So that's not too challenging. What's the challenge would be when you're not working, to keep that morning time. And also to keep the bedtime the same too. And the reason for that, and this is what I've learned, your brain works on a particular routine. It does. It's set up that way. It's something that we get used to doing. So it's consistent. I don't know how many of you have tried an experiment and set your alarm off,
Let me put it in a language you can understand.
turned off your alarm, and see if you would wake up at the same time you would the day before. So your brain works in a circadian rhythm in order to maintain some sort of routine. It remembers, which is really kind of cool. And for people that aren't really familiar with what a circadian rhythm is, I'm going to read you the definition. Definition. This is from Wikipedia. And circadian rhythm, or circadian cycle, is a natural internal process that regulates the sleep-wake cycle and repeats roughly every 24 hours. So that's basically what that is. So what you want to do is you want to try to keep that circadian rhythm the same. Now, if you change your routine from your morning to nighttime, like so if you go to bed, you usually go to bed at 10, and then you go to bed at 12, and then you wake up at the same time, what's going to happen? How many of us have been off right as soon as we get out of bed? So your brain doesn't work very well when you change things up right at the get-go anyway. You know, it takes time for that to happen. So we talked about getting to bed at the same time, getting up in the morning at the same time. It's good to use an alarm clock if you're not one that isn't able to get up on a regular basis, kind of needs a little bit of a reminder. I mean, I'm retired and I still need a reminder to get up. So it's important to have something like that, like an alarm. Now, if you're going to use your phone, perhaps maybe a good idea would be is to put your phone somewhere where you're going to have to get up to turn the alarm off. Then you're out of bed and then you can get going. Because honestly, with me, the worst part is just getting up, getting out of bed. And once I'm out of bed, then I am in a much better state. It's just getting out of bed is the issue for me, which I'm sure is the issue for many people. I wish I could be the type that could just turn the alarm off and go, but not so much. Here's something that I found rather interesting is that another way to look at it is look at what other people are doing that inspire you. So whether they're a mentor or, somebody that you look up to, or a good friend or family member, if they seem to have it together, perhaps ask them what they're doing. And it's part of who you are, right? Your routine is part of who you are. Getting up in the morning, your nighttime routine, all of that is part of your identity. In a sense, that's what you're doing. You're changing your identity. And one way to do that is to sort of piggyback what somebody else is doing that is successful, that has been able to manage a routine that is consistent and manageable. Another interesting fact that James Clear talks about is the fact that it's not just about changing the goal. You need to change the system. It's really about changing the system first. Because you may have a goal, but if your system, that's all the background stuff that goes on, in and around the goal, if that hasn't changed, you're not going to be able to reach your goal. So in other words, you will have to change something else in order for you to be successful in that goal. Your system would be some of the things I've already talked about. So, okay, going to bed at a certain time every night, getting up in the morning at a certain time every morning, keeping that time frame, following through on your nighttime routine, whatever that may be, so that you are successful with your morning routine, setting yourself up for a good sleep so that you're able to wake up relaxed and ready to take on the world.
Oh, I feel good. I knew that I would now. Oh, yeah. I feel good. I knew that I would now.
So that's part of your system. Again, it's what's around you. What do you need to do in order for that goal to be successful? So if my goal was to get up a bit earlier in the day. Now, this is actually one of my goals, is to do that. And I've been playing around with my system to see what's going to work so I can actually manage that goal. And it's been a struggle. Really, the struggle is real. It's real. So what I've been doing is, well, what do I have to do? Okay, so if I want to get up an hour earlier, which is significant. We'll not say an hour earlier. We'll say half an hour earlier. That's more measurable for me. So half an hour earlier, what am I going to have to do in order to be able to get up a half an hour earlier? So that is your system. I hope that makes sense. At the end of the day, you just want to keep it simple. You don't want to have like a morning routine that has like 20 different things on there. Because really, you're going to get overwhelmed, and there's a good chance, well, for me, I wouldn't be doing it. There's just no way. I might be gung-ho at first. Yeah, I'm into this. I'm going to do this. And then, holy, this is too much that I got to do in order to maintain this routine. You got to do what works for you, but you want to keep it simple. And that may take a little bit to figure it out. Again, this comes down to, evolving. You are going to be changing your identity a little bit, and you're going to evolve as you are going through this process, right? So again, I cannot stress enough to be kind to yourself. It's going to take some time. Be patient. The fact is that you're doing something that's going to be better for you, so that you have a good start for the day, so that you're in a good state of mind. And really, what do we want? We want to be in a beautiful state every day. Imagine that. Imagine being in a beautiful state every day. It's really important to me, anyway. I'm sure it would be to you too. And it's really important for people that are recovering, from addictions, people that have a mental health issue. Routines are important, period. It doesn't matter who you are. There's another great reference that you can utilize as well. And the name of the book is My Morning Routine. It's by Benjamin Spall, Spall, and Micheal Xander. You can get both the books, My Morning Routine and Atomic Habits, pretty much anywhere. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it at Chapters, any bookstore. They're both very, very good books, excellent reviews, and their theories work. Okay. So you're probably wondering, well, what do you do? Like, are you successful with your goals in your morning routine? Yes and no. Remember I was talking about evolving? That's what I'm doing. I must have changed my morning routine, I don't know, probably 6, 7, 8 times over the past 2 years. Just trying to find something that works. And when you have PTSD, anxiety and depression, you need to manage that in whatever way that you do. You got to keep that in mind for the routines that you're setting up for morning and night. Again, really being kind to yourself. Because unfortunately, some of those old behaviors stick around and we got to work through them. And that's where that evolving comes from, right? So what do I do right now? This is what I do. I get up in the morning. I set my alarm for 10 o'clock. I set it for 10 o'clock, but I would like to actually eventually set it for like 9, then 8, that sort of thing, then 7. So this is a work in progress, right? And I turn it off in the morning. I get up, and the first thing that I will do after the morning pee, of course, I'll take my meds and then, do my thing, wash my face, brush my teeth, blah, 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 blah. Taking care of me, which is what this is about. Sometimes I will have a shower. Sometimes I won't. It just depends. If I'm training that day, then I'll shower after I train. The next thing I do is I say my cantations in the mirror, which I've talked about before. And I will always tell myself that I love myself. At that point, what I do is I will make myself a coffee. Now, I used to actually drink a glass of water first because of the fact that I do drink coffee. I'll drink maybe 1 to 3 coffees a day, depending. And that dehydrates you big time. So it's a good thing to drink some water in the morning. But to be honest with you, I don't do that. I have my cup of coffee and I sit down, and then at that point, I would like to say that I do not check my phone, but I do. I check my phone for emails and that sort of thing. I used to just put my phone aside, and this is what I want to get back to. Put my phone aside. Don't look at my phone until I have done everything that I needed to do to start my day. Because then I'm just basically in my grounded state. I haven't changed my state at all by looking at an email or something or a text that's gonna throw me off. So it is a good idea to do that. And then at that point, what I will do is I will write in my journal, my 5-minute journal that I talked about before. And then I will meditate. I'll do a short meditation, and I will listen to something on Audible, which is a great way to listen to books. Or I may just read something, for about 5 minutes, something that's going to inspire me throughout the day. And then from there, I will work out, and I will do some stretching afterwards, and I'll do about 20 minutes of stretching. I actually follow an app called ROMWOD, which ROMWOD, range of motion workout of the day, and it's 20 minutes of in and around between 15 and 20 minutes of stretching. And it's great because you're holding that stretch for a long period of time. It's a guided stretching program. It costs about $20 a month. And it's worth it to me because there's a chance that after I train, if I'm exhausted, I might just say, screw it, I'm not going to stretch. Well, all I got to do is just put this on and listen to him, the guided dude, talk to me as I stretch. And then they just have two athletes there that are doing the stretches as well, just in case you just don't happen to know what the stretch is. That's about it. I will also, if my kitchen is a little untidy, I'll tidy it up, and then I'll start my day. Whatever it is I might do. I may go for a hike with my partner Wendy and the dogs, or maybe take them to the dog park. That's another option. I might have appointments that day, that sort of thing. It really depends, but that's basically what I do. That is my morning routine. That's what I do. I stick to that as much as I can. There are some days that I'm not sticking to it. I forget to write in my journal, or I don't feel like training that day. Again, I have PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And it's something that I have to keep in mind while I'm going through this routine, checking out what I have to do for my system in order for me to be in the right state of mind to start my day. I'm going to end this video from a comment from James Clear from his book, Atomic Habits. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The same way that money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. They seem to make little difference on any given day, and yet the impact they deliver over a period of time can be enormous. So that's my little comment there from James Clear. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you didn't like this video, please click the like button. Add your comments. I would really be interested to hear what you all do for your routine. If you have a routine, what is it? If there's anything that you found interesting about this video that you're going to take on in your morning routine. And don't forget to subscribe. I hope that you have a wonderful day wherever you are in this beautiful world, and be safe.